When people look at an elite performer, they see the result, the trophy, the influence, or the mastery. What remains hidden are the thousands of invisible, daily actions that produced that outcome. We often imagine the path to success as a high-speed chase. We think it requires a constant state of intense erratic energy, a cinematic montage. The reality is far quieter. Excellence is repetitive. Musicians practice scales. Writers produce a word count. Engineers solve the same problems daily. Building a skill is a process of enduring the mundane. Most people stop when the novelty wears off. They mistake a lack of excitement for a lack of progress. But high performers become comfortable doing the work even when it stops feeling new. The difference between average and exceptional results often comes down to this capacity to repeat critical behaviors long after the interest has faded. For a beginner, the first step isn't learning a complex strategy. It's securing the biological inputs that make mental work possible. If you neglect sleep, nutrition, and movement, you physically limit your cognitive potential. This throttles your ability to concentrate. High performers view these as baseline fuel, managing physical energy to ensure their brain can actually perform the tasks they set. You cannot outwork a system that is running on empty. Managing your physical energy is a requirement for high performance. Even with your energy managed, you will hit a wall. The initial drive that started the project will fluctuate. You will have days where you simply don't want to do the work. Because motivation is unstable, high performers build systems to function without it. They transition to discipline, an emotionless operating system remaining stable regardless of mood. While the majority of people live reactively, answering notifications and letting others dictate their time, elite performers act with intent. They protect their attention. They carve out hours for deep focus. This allows them to learn faster, make better decisions, and produce higher quality work than those who are constantly interrupted. Discipline is the engine that keeps the process moving when the conditions aren't perfect and the feelings are unpredictable. But discipline by itself can be dangerous. If you work hard without looking at the results, you risk getting very good at making mistakes. To avoid this, high performers use a specific mechanism to correct their course in real time: the daily review. Every day, they analyze performance by asking, what worked, what failed, what can improve? This data feedback loop physically straightens their trajectory. These micro-calibrations build self-awareness. Catching small errors early prevents them from turning into major failures later. Effort without reflection is just wasted energy. The review process is what converts disciplined action into actual growth. On a macro scale, the high performer thinks in years. While others optimize for today's comfort, they are investing in the person they want to become 5 years from now. Because they continue to learn, their skills begin to interact. This causes their progress to shift from a straight line to an exponential curve as their knowledge compounds over time. We can summarize this entire architecture with a single equation: habits multiplied by discipline multiplied by consistency equals excellence. If you remove discipline, the habits you've built have no support. They collapse as soon as life becomes difficult or tiring. If consistency drops to zero, the entire equation resets. It doesn't matter how intense your effort was yesterday. Without consistency, the progress disappears. When you maintain all three for years, the results look extraordinary to those on the outside, but they are simply the total of the math. Excellence is the byproduct of these daily behaviors. When actions are disciplined and repeated for years, the result is predictable. Your habits are currently building your future. The only question is whether they are building the person you want to become.